This is my first YouTube video ever. I'm so excited. I plan my first YouTube video to be my first ever out of the country trip. I'm going to Costa Rica. I have never been there. I heard it's been super hot. It's humid like Texas, of course, but probably worse from what I heard. The week of the trip, I've been super nervous because I've never been on a plane. At my big 26 age, never been on a plane. I don't know what to expect. Terrified. Absolute terrified. But it's okay. So right now, it's the day before we board the plane. And so right now I'm getting everything ready. I overthink a lot. So I had my baggage packed weeks in advance. I did a lot of research. I wanted to see what I could bring. I'm over prepared, I will say, definitely. I got the biggest luggage. Well, my boyfriend did. He got the biggest luggage he could find for me. Thanks to him. Shout out to him. I just wanted to see if I can pack my makeup. What should I wear? How's the climate? I was just asking tons of questions because one thing I hate is not being prepared. That's one thing that bothers me so much. I am going to be prepared. As you can tell from my vanity, it's an entire mess, but I'm charging everything the night before because I'd rather be prepared. As you can tell, look at this mess. I have like some things charging, my phone, my wallet, all my electronics, my personal bag, and there's my luggage right there. Don't mind my dog's toys. But yes, my luggage. I'm gonna go ahead and be dropping him off to my brother's. I'm gonna go be dropping her off at dog boarding facility. They have to stay separated, unfortunately, because she, Miss Brittany, very, very friendly. Super sweet dog. Wouldn't harm her soul. Him, on the other hand, no. He has to be with someone that we know, and obviously my brother. They have to be separated, but he likes to be by himself, so that's good. Definitely be taking you guys along and show you how Costa Rica is. I do want to vlog the trip. Might not doing a lot of talking, but I'll definitely show you what's going on. I'll probably do a voiceover. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and drop off Mrs. Brittany. As you can see, we found a local boarding facility called Parks and Wildlife Retreat. It was my first time dropping her off. I was completely nervous, so scared. I just didn't know what to expect. I never ever dropped her off at anybody's boarding facility, ever let anybody really take care of her. So it was a first time for me. I work in the animal care industry, so of course you hear all the horror stories. Up next, I dropped off Mr. Pancho with his uncle. He was so excited. He just didn't know we were gonna be gone for a week, so that was kind of a big hit on him. But he had fun with Maple and his uncle. Alright, so I went ahead and dropped both my kids, Miss Brittany to the boarding facility and Mr. Pancho to my brother's house. I was tearing up. I was like, oh, I've never been without my kids, ever been out with them. It felt so weird coming back to the house. It just felt odd, like a dogless house. How do people do it without dogs? What do you mean you don't have a team mascot at the house? It was really odd, but I'm just gonna finish a couple more errands right now. I have to pick up the poop before I head out, and then go ahead and eat, shower, just check last minute things, and that's it. I'm excited. It was a lot of emotions, but it's finally here. I deserve this vacation. It's gonna be a fun time. Here I am with my personal item and my sleepover bag, and then I'll show my luggage. My luggage was 30 pounds. I was so scared of hitting the 50-pound mark, but I did not, which was good. I am showing myself wake up at 4 a.m., getting ready to leave at 5 a.m. I've been at the airport several times in the past because of my grandma. She's worked there, but I never been there as a first-time flyer. So I was just filming whatever I saw. I did not know there was more to this airport. I literally just thought it was, you get to check in, TSA, and then you go off to your plane. No, it was more than that. This is it. My very first time stepping onto an airplane, and I'm heading to the incredible land of Costa Rica. I've dreamt for this moment for so long, and now it's actually happening. It felt a little surreal, a little nerve-wracking. I'm ready to embrace every new experience, soak in the vibrant culture, and explore the breathtaking natural beauty that Costa Rica is famous for. This is the start of an amazing adventure, and I'm so glad you guys are here to witness it with me. Here we are, finally in Costa Rica after 3 hours of a plane. Here's me and Angel waving hi to the camera. First time in Costa Rica. We learned real quick that there's so many hills, bumpy roads on this part of the country, but it's better that way, believe it or not. They're kind of outdated in Costa Rica, which I love about it. They don't really have too much technology. It's kind of like a country where they make you put your phones down because you have no signal, you have no social media time, so it just forces you to enjoy the life that it is. I was filming in the grocery store. Yes, I know it was so silly, but I wanted to see what they had in Costa Rica, what we Americans don't have in the US. Here we are trying to figure out the price, because the price, they do it by thousands. They don't do it like how we would do it, the dollar sign. If it's $8, it's 8.00. No, they do it like 8,000. It's very interesting. After a long day, we can finally reach our first restaurant. It was so yummy. The platter that I got was called arroz con camarones. So it's basically rice with shrimp, and oh my god, it was so yummy. And then I went ahead and got a mango smoothie. The food here tasted so fresh and so good. Finally here at the Airbnb after 6 hours of traveling. The Airbnb was just so gorgeous. Oh my god, it's like you felt like you were literally connected with nature. The backyard, the front yard, everywhere around the house was literally in the rainforest, and it was so beautiful. Here's a little quick tour of the house. So here's the entrance, and then the first bedroom. You can see the front of the rainforest, and then the back window, you can see the back of the rainforest. It was such a cool experience knowing that there was a whole neighborhood in the rainforest. I did not expect that. I thought it was just like on movies. And here is the dining room, or the living room you would say. It's just tied in with both. The cool part about these houses is that since it is in the rainforest, you're gonna see wildlife every single day. For a good example, these ants, they were humongous. They were probably the size of my finger. Well, probably not the size of my entire finger. I'm probably exaggerating, but they were larger than American ants. Here's a tour of the upstairs bedroom. Right here you can see Angel just looking around, trying to open the patio door so he can look at the view. The view was just so gorgeous. Oh my god. Look at this view right behind me. That's crazy. We're back after such a long trip. 3 hours on the plane, 3 hours by car, and then of course we had to stop to get some snacks and food. But thankfully we're here. I'm beyond grateful for this trip and spending time with these people. I am just so happy. This is definitely pura vida. Hi everyone, it is currently 7:26 in Costa Rica time. Right now I'm just gonna go ahead and do my skincare prep and talk about what's the plan. So the plan for the next day is to head to La Fortuna and then look at the waterfall. Of course, take some pictures, look around. If there's any other places to explore, of course we'll be there. And number one thing, souvenir shops. I love souvenir shops. I think because that's the shopper in me. Good morning! It's day 1 of our vacation. Here I am recording the volcano. You don't see this every day in Texas, so of course I'm gonna be spamming the video of what I haven't seen in Texas. And when I say everything over there is green, it's literally like a whole green atmosphere there. Everyone there is truly happy. We're here at La Fortuna. So in order to enter, you had to purchase a ticket, which was $20, and it's definitely worth it. I will say it is 5,000 steps on the way down. So if it's 5,000 steps on the way down, it's going to be 5,000 steps on the way up. But overall, it was worth the scene. It was worth the time in the water. It was worth the experience. They had like little baby streams that I love to see. It was so cute. Because again, you don't see this in Texas. Texas is dry, just land and heat. That's what it is. And look at the waterfall. Since it is rainy season over there, unfortunately you couldn't swim up close to the waterfall, but you can swim near the area. So they kind of had it blocked off where people couldn't go. Then of course I had to get a video of me in front of the stream because it was just so cool and refreshing down there. If you are planning to come to Costa Rica, definitely get there early because things do close early because there's not much light source outside in the dark. We have a better advantage in the US where we have street lights, but unfortunately they don't have them there. These steps were tremendous. It was worth it though. There are lots of reminders to definitely slow down, take your time, because you will pass out on the way up. Here's our first souvenir shop of the trip. It was so cute. I loved everything in there. Of course, if I can afford everything, I would buy the whole store, but I'm balling on a budget. So I just got things that I will either use for every day or take home for some friends, family members, any of that. And the prices there for souvenirs were dirt cheap, which it shocked me, but I'm not complaining. And they had like a little small butterfly garden. I love butterflies, so I had to get this in the video. And it seems like the animals here are more larger because everything's natural to them. Here's our second souvenir shop. This souvenir shop was by far the biggest one we've seen here. It was like amazing there, just seeing different things, small paintings, random mugs, random stuff that you can use for everyday routine or just have it there as a souvenir. Like, oh, I remember going to Costa Rica. And here's one of the workers. One of the workers were a little rude to me, but that's okay. Oh my God, look at these beautiful mugs. I am getting one for my mom. I'm on the hunt looking for a coffee mug or some type of coffee item for my mom. And for my dad, I'm looking for some type of water bottle as well. So I'm getting my mom coffee beans. I'm getting my dad some chocolate, myself that bracelet, and then that little mug for both, I believe both my parents. If they want it. If not, they can both fight for it. Fight to the death for it. Here we are at Sluffies. I've seen this place on TikTok, so of course I had to go try it out for myself. The little coffee shop was located in a, like, probably a pit stop, I would say, on the side of the road. And oh my God, the place was so cute. Most places in Costa Rica are outdoor, if not most, all. The coffee tasted amazing. It tasted so fresh. Believe it or not, it didn't give me the jitters what Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or any other coffee place in America would give me. And I did get a blueberry croissant. I never had a blueberry croissant. I will forever miss that. I hope the US has something like that because that was just too good. Our next stop was the hot springs. It was a natural hot springs along with a pool to cool down. Undershirt. Just keep the first thing. Put my shirt down. We're at the hot springs. You can just hear nature in this video. At this hot springs, you can see wildlife there. I've seen my first toucan bird. It was so cool. Of course, he was too far in the air. I could see him from a distance to identify what type of bird it was, but I wanted him super close so I can take pictures. So here's the natural hot springs. You can hear just the freshness in there. The view here just seems like it would have came from a Pinterest board. Here we are having dinner at Don Liz. I had my first mushroom burger there. It just amazed me that a burger in the US would have made me had bubble guts, I would say. But there, it just digested so well. I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't greasy. The fries weren't even greasy. Everything tasted just like they made it from scratch, not fast food. I will probably miss this burger too. Good morning. Today's day 2 of Costa Rica. Today we're gonna go to Monteverde, see what's around town, and that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna wear makeup because there's no point. I was gonna wear my skin tint, but I already applied sunscreen, so I'm like, let me skip that. But this is today's fit. Lululemon top, Aloe shorts, always gonna clutch. I was gonna wear tennis shoes because there may be a chance it might be muddy because it's rain season out here, so I'm not gonna do that. But I'll take you guys along with me. I had to get this in my video because the material looked like it was built in the 1950s. You can hear the noise from here. Our first stop was called El Tigre. This place you can see a large waterfall. You can hike to see the waterfall, zip line, and then a horseback riding at the end of the visit. You can see the mountains from here, but I will say the travel up here was just crazy. It was like super small roads, and you could literally look down and see the bottom, which was kind of scary, but it's something new. So what we did is just a hike to see the waterfalls, and then on the way up we just chose horseback riding. Let me tell you, I wanted to zip line, but when I seen what they wanted us to do, I was like, oh no, thank you. The zip lining is where you zip line on a bike. So it's like two zip lines, one's holding you, and then the other one's like kind of pushing the bike along the zip line. I was like, oh no, I will pass. So and on the way down, you can just hear the waterfall as closer as you get. I did not expect this place to have sky bridges. So in order to get to the other side of the land, you had to cross the sky bridge. The bridges were a cool experience, but someone had to go one by one. It couldn't be like the entire crowd because the thing will probably break. The further the hike you go, more waterfalls you were able to see. In some parts of the trail, you get to walk in streams. Some are larger than others, and some are just like itty bitty like this one. I am one with nature. I feel like Moana right now. I'm gonna move all of the water so I can walk. Like this next stream, it was pretty big. I was trying to go across, but my boyfriend accidentally pushed me. He thought I needed a push, but I'm like, no, you almost made me fall. And this is our last waterfall before our horseback riding on the way up.
But a horse is in the back. That's crazy. I'm sorry. Okay, no, Captain. Oh, sorry.
After our horseback riding, we were treated to dinner that comes in the package. And I was just so fascinated about these tiles. Like, there's natural green plants growing in between the tiles. And here's the restaurant. It's upstairs. So what I ordered was called a poke bowl. It's entirely different from the US, as you can see. Here is the next morning, me enjoying the fresh air with my coffee. We stopped at a next restaurant where I got chorizo con huevo. Their chorizo here is not like Mexican chorizo. I would say their chorizo was a little sweet, but yummy. We went to the volcano hiking tour. They sold fresh coconuts. I believe they were soft shell because at the end of the tour, this lady just used a pair of scissors to poke a hole, which I thought it was crazy. We're here at the volcano. We're doing our little hike. I want to go get coffee and a restaurant. We saw our first anteater in the wild. You can see that little thing moving right there looking for his meal. This day was probably the only day where you could see the sun bright and out. It was so hot that day. And it didn't make it worse that you're going upstairs, and which is really hard to get up there. They had their own butterfly garden, and oh my god, I've seen so many beautiful butterflies I've never seen. The colors were just so different. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Up next, I'm showing their homegrown fruits and herbs that they use for their restaurant. Here you can hear Angel trying to pronounce some of the herbs. So if you hear him trying to pronounce it, don't mind him. Everything here is locally grown. So their fruits and their homegrown plants, they're all humongous. They seem like super organic, which I'm pretty sure they are compared to the US. Anywhere you go, you saw tons of cows. I feel like I saw more cows than sloths, toucans, monkeys combined. And then here's the end of the trail where you see a perfect view of the mountain. And then as well, you get to enjoy a restaurant. Well, I wasn't hungry, but I was thirsty for some coffee and fresh coconut water. The coffee here was just immaculate. It gave me a nice, good energy, no jitters, no anxiety. And the coconut, oh my god. That coconut water was well needed after that hike. Of course, we had to get some photos to remember our coffee and mountain hike. And the last activity for the week is to go ATV riding. I never been ATV riding, so I didn't know what to expect. It was rainy this day, so it was a perfect weather to get basically down and dirty. During this activity, I believed I seen my second or third sloth viewing. This by far was my favorite activity to do. Feeling the nice breeze, seeing the nice nature. I will probably never forget this activity for sure. And then during the ride, they brought you to a little swimming hole. Of course, it was rainy. It was getting a little bad out there, so we couldn't really get in, but rather we could just look at it. They also offer fresh fruit, which tasted so sweet and fresh.
We're stuck out in the wilderness and we got a helmet and a pineapple. That's all we got.
And our last dinner for the trip of Costa Rica was pizza. And Costa Rica sure knows how to make a good pizza. Thank you so much, guys, for always supporting me and watching my first YouTube video. I can't wait to see you in my next one.